Hi, and welcome to Old School Blues Guitar. And we're working on Tampa Red's Bumblebee Blues, a fantastic guitar instrumental in open D tuning, the key of D. We're going to take it from the turnaround at the end of the introduction, and then I'm going to play the first verse all the way through, and then we're going to go through and break down the first verse and figure it out. That is the first verse. That's the way I play it. It's not exactly the way Tampa Red plays it. It's pretty close. A lot of the exact same ideas. I just play it with a little different inflection and, maybe a note here, a note there that he doesn't play. But it's kind of the same effect. And a lot of the main licks of the song, I try to play those exactly. So let's start from the turnaround when he concludes the introduction. Ends on that A7th chord, and he goes into the first lick. So that first lick, you're sliding from the second to the third fret with the slide on the first string. And then you're going to the fifth fret of the second string, which is the real soulful note that you need to play and really let ring out. I'm still working on that to get that true Tampa Red song. Then he's got this little bass thing to lead into the D or the G7th chord, which I'll show you here in just a minute. The bass lead in, to me it sounds like he's getting an open D, fourth string, and then walking up first fret, second fret on the fifth string. And that's into this position, which is our G7th, and we'll work on that chord in just a minute. But here he's just playing the bass notes. Then he goes into another two slides on the second to third frets of the first string. Again, that note on the fifth fret of the second string. And that little lick, he's going to do something like that or that lick exactly throughout the song with a lot of variations. Right here, I'm playing just an open second string. Now I'm pulling off the third string at the first fret. Open fourth string, which is our D, and then my open sixth. So in context, I'll play it from the bass run. I'm going to kind of strum, either with my thumb. I think you'd have to do it with this thumb to get the timing right, but that's how I play it. So I do this. Let me do the whole thing in context. Kind of like that. Then I do a little lick with the slide, second to third, this time on the second string. Open second string and open third string. That pull off is like we did before. So let me play the whole first verse so far from the turnaround of the introduction. He does this little seventh lick. And what I'm doing is just putting my second finger on the third fret of the second string. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And while I'm doing that, get the open sixth string. Keep the bass going. So let me play everything up to that point. goes here. Whoops. This time I think he's going to get an open string. And the reason I think he's doing that, I hear it, he either plays an open first string or the slide at the 5th fret of the 2nd string. And generally I can tell the difference between them. And I think another reason why he's going to do an open string is so he can go right into this G7th chord. So let me play that lick from the 7th thing. So he's doing a quick 2nd to 3rd fret on the 1st string and open. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Open. Then the chord, this is a G7, 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, 2nd finger on the 5th fret, 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then my ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. That is our 4 chord, that shape, that G7 shape. He's going to use this a lot. And what he's doing here, I think he's hitting the bass, which is the 5th string. And then he's strumming up with his index finger and coming down on the 4th string, which is open. And he kind of does a little scrape, like that. And then leads back into it. Open 5th string, 1, 2 on the 5th string. So let me do that whole part. Like that. And then he does this, holding those notes. There's that lick again. Open 2nd string. And then the 2nd time, I think he gets the open 1st string. Here's the 2nd string. Here's the 1st string. Sometimes he does the slide. He mixes that up throughout the tune. So we're getting ready to wrap up this first verse. Let's go back through everything real quick. So from the turnaround. Like that. Now I may have played it differently both times. It's really hard to think what he does every single verse because it's slightly different. And so what I've done is I've tried to learn all the different variations, but then when I play it live, when I play the song, I just play whatever I feel like playing, and I have this vocabulary to draw from. And that's the way I've approached this. Now the very last phrase, the last part of the first verse, he does this. All on the 2nd string, 4, 5, 4 to 5th fret. And he does the vibrato there to make that ring out. And a little smear, it sounds like from the 3rd to the 2nd to the open on the 2nd string. He does the 7th chord, this is our A7. So it's... something like that. We might do this. And so the two, I think the one that sounds better, the one that works better, is when he does this. Goes right into the A7th chord with the 5th string open. He does that little, just like he did earlier in the verse. Walking back into the G7th. So it's A7, G7th, and there's the end of the first verse of Tampa Red's Bumblebee Blues. Let me play the whole first verse, as slow as I can, and then we'll be ready for the second verse. Into verse number 2. Hopefully you can follow that. Listen to the original recording and you'll hear variations. This is my version of Tampa Red's Bumblebee Blues, but I think the main licks that I show you are exactly how he plays it. And there's a few variations, like whenever he does this stuff, I tend to mix it up and do it differently than what he does at any particular point in the song. Again, if you're trying to memorize the song and play it note for note exactly all the way through, that's not easy. Trust me, I've tried it. What's better is that you learn the licks in each verse so that you can play it, do an improvisational version where you're just playing what you feel and have all this stuff you can draw on to make it sound good. All right, I'll be back with verse number 2. So we did the introduction, we got the first verse, we'll come back with the second verse.